Hello and welcome to Startup Street. I'm Arundhati Ramnan and these are the top headlines from the startup world. Orion Pro Solutions to acquire 67% stake in banking and insurance-focused startup Aria.ai in an all-cash deal totaling $16.5 million. With this, Orion Pro will boost its enterprise fintech offerings to accelerate adoption of responsible, accurate and auditable AI. Metaverse platform OneVerse acquires online poker site Poker Saint, marking the fourth acquisition of the gaming powerhouse. The integration with Poker Saint will enhance OneVerse's online gaming experience and provide state-of-the-art player-centric poker games and services. EV2 Ventures and Carrot Capital merged to launch Carrot Capital Fund 2, a $50 million sustainability fund, which will invest in pre-Series A startups across the three interconnected sectors: mobility, distribution, and employment. Angel investing platform BizDateUp Technologies launches a 200 crore rupee Category 1 alternative investment fund to invest in technology startups. The fund would invest in startups from Tier 2 and 3 cities with a special focus on those from sustainability and social impact sectors. Netflix beats first quarter earnings estimates with a 16% jump in new subscribers. Revenue rises to over $9.3 billion. Net income grows to $2.3 billion. Netflix says it is generating substantial free cash flow and developing new revenue streams like advertising and a password sharing crackdown. Apple removes WhatsApp and Threads from its App Store in China after being ordered to do so by the Chinese government, which cited national security concerns. Telegram and Signal, two other foreign messaging apps, were also removed from the store, according to app tracking firms QMI and AppMagic. Those were the headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. But on what's brewing today, Unicus Consultech, a tech-enabled global consulting firm focused on ESG and climate and accounting advisory, has got $10 million in a Series B funding. Now, the funding round was led by Nexus Venture Partners with participation from Sorin Investments. In fact, in December of 2022, Unicus Consultech raised $12.5 million in a Series A funding round from Nexus Venture Partners and Sorin Investments. Joining us now to discuss this further is Jameel Khatri, the co-founder and CEO of Unicus Consultech. Excuse me. Jameel, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. You know, you've bagged this $10 million. Talk to us about what you plan to do with it.
Yeah. First of all, it's great to be back here on the show after 15 minutes. I think since we kind of started Unicus, which was around 15 months ago, we've seen a significant growth in business. We've seen a big scale up in our operations. We've kind of grown from starting up in December 22 to being 350 people now. We've onboarded as a part of this process 150 clients. We've spent time opening 8 offices now. So we have 3 offices in India, offices in the Middle East, offices in the United States. And along the way, we've actually invested in technology as well. So that kind of got to a stage where we started focusing on the next phase of growth for Unicus. And Arundhati, that's really what the race is for right now in terms of preparing Unicus for the next phase of growth right now.
Absolutely. So a lot of plans there with the $10 million that you have got right now. But why don't you give us a sense of the kind of demand you're seeing for your solutions? How is this market developing and what trends are you picking up for ESG and accounting around the world at this point?
Sure. So Arundhati, we operate across 3 markets. We operate in India, in the Middle East, and in the United States. In India, there are 4 drivers for the work that we do. The first driver really is a very robust IPO market. So we're seeing a lot of companies preparing themselves for IPOs, and that's driving a lot of our work around reporting, governance, and compliance. Second is around transactions. So we're doing a lot of work around helping companies on transaction reporting. The third thing is there is a lot of focus in India on governance in the startup ecosystem. Right. So a lot of our private equity, venture capital clients are engaging with us to do work in that area. And finally, in the area of ESG, SEBI really is focusing on a lot of kind of reporting by companies and integrity of data that goes into ESG reporting. So that's kind of driving kind of growth for us in India. In the Middle East, the entire economy is transforming, right? And on the back of that, there's a lot of focus on governance by listed companies in the UAE. As we know, COP28 was held in the region. So a lot of big companies are focusing on sustainability and ESG as they diversify their economy. And in the United States, given that companies have become more conscious about price and value, companies love our kind of offshore model where we are able to provide consulting services from India to clients in the United States. So yeah, overall, it's a very robust demand environment for us.
Absolutely, and governance doing the thing for you there, it being top demand as well. But artificial intelligence and generative AI is at the core of what you do. So how are you using artificial intelligence to sort of, sharpen your product portfolio as well as engage with your market?
Yeah. And I think our belief really is, and that was one of the reasons why we kind of raised this funds as well at this point in time, because we will continue to invest in our own technology. Given that there is a big focus, what AI has done and what technology has done is given us the ability to do things using technology which were earlier not possible. We are investing in that right now. So just as an example, we launched a product called Unicus, which uses the LLMs that are available out there and then verticalizes that in the area of ESG and reporting, as a result of which our users can use the product to do more focused research, more focused kind of work around in the area of ESG and financial reporting. And I think that's just the start. And we believe that the historical model of kind of throwing consultants at a problem is not the only way to do things. We will increasingly see technology doing work that humans were doing in each of the areas we operate in.
Right. Do you think that's going to lead to maybe certain levels of job losses along the way? How do you think this is going to play out?
I think and again, for those who kind of follow this space, one of our big markets, as we said, is the US. The US, effectively, does not have enough accountants. Right. In fact, recently, a very large company in the US came up with a release which said they're not able to come up with their earnings because they don't have enough accountants to do the financial statements, right? So I think in a world like that, I don't think it's about job losses. It's about kind of getting more productivity into what is to be done. And I think that's really the way we are sensing it right now.
All right, so it's going to add to productivity is what it's going to do. Now, you have over 150 clients, like you mentioned, across the USA, Middle East, and India, right? So give us a sense of the kind of clients you're currently working with and what kind of growth are you witnessing in these markets?
Yeah. So I think in terms of the kind of clients, in India, our target market continues to be the very big companies, or like I said, companies which are preparing for IPOs.
Right.
We do a lot of work with the PE VC sector. In the Middle East, our target market continues to be, again, the larger companies which are engaging with us. And in the United States, a target market is the emerging growth companies, right? Companies which are moving from Series B, Series C to more towards being Series D plus and kind of IPO companies. So that's really what our target market is right now. In terms of growth, we've had a great run. We said this publicly last time that our plan was to be a $100 million company by calendar 2027. We're going to get to that by calendar 26 itself. And we have therefore revised our plans to be a $150 million company by calendar 27. This year, we will quadruple our revenues from our first year of operation. So yeah, that's really.
So quadrupling your numbers there, and that target being shortened to 2026, that 100 million target. But that's my next question. You preempted it. What are you currently clocking at this point, and what are the targets you've set for this year?
Yeah. So initially, when we started the company, what we had kind of guided the investors is that we will do $7 million of revenue in the first year. We'll do 15 million in the second year. And like I said, as compared to the 15 million plan, we're running at 2x of that. So we'll likely play for 30 million this year for calendar 24. And then that takes us to our $150 million target that I spoke about earlier.
Right. So 30 million for this calendar year. But if you could talk to us about the revenue split between the three geographies, and what will the focus be going forward? What's the expansion plan?
Yeah. I think in terms of the breakup by geography, like we'd always said, we want to be a truly global company focusing on each of the markets. And that's playing out quite well for us. 1/3 of our revenues this year will be from the US, 1/3 from the Middle East, and 1/3 from India. So I think it's quite kind of working out quite well for us.
Evenly placed at this point,
Evenly placed, and I think But as I said in the last time when I was on the show as well, as we look forward to being a $150 million company, more than 75 to 80% of our revenue at that stage will come from outside India. In terms of where do we go from here in terms of growth drivers, three things. One is the demand for services that we provide itself is very significant. The addressable market for what we do is $20 billion in the markets that we are in. So we're not even started. Second is, from a client perspective, like you said, we have 150 clients already. And a lot of those clients are telling us, what more can you do for us in terms of solutions? So the next level, our focus is on building new solutions, right? Around AI, around consulting on technology risk, etc. So that's really the second focus. And the third focus for us really is new geographies. Right. So as we grow in these markets, the question is, could we do more in adjacent markets? Let's say if we are in the US, can we do more in Canada? If we are in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, could we do more in Qatar, Bahrain, other locations in the Middle East? So that's really is going to be the focus for us going forward.
Any plans right now to go to these new geographies, or the focus remains here?
I think for calendar 24, we want to stay focused on the markets we are in. But as we kind of exit 24 and kind of go into 25, that's really where the new geo play is going to come for us as well.
Right. All right, Jameel, thank you so much for joining us in the studios today and taking time out. But we wish you all the best on your journey going forward. And it seems like it's an exciting one.
Thank you very much. This is a lucky show for me. So hopefully by the time we come back next, we'll be a unicorn. So
hopefully that's the next time I'm going to be interviewing you again. So we wish you all the best for that then.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, on that note, joining me now is Shruti Mishra. Shruti, it's over to you.
D2C health and wellness brand Tria, that provides holistic hair solutions, has secured a 75 crore rupee investment from Exponentia Capital. Founded in 2019, the company currently has over 10 lakh users and is focusing on regional expansion. To tell us how Tria is taking its clinically proven hair growth treatment to the masses, joining me now is its co-founder, Saloni Anand. Saloni, welcome to Startup Street. Now, hair care is a highly competitive segment with a whole host of brands offering customized solutions. How are your products treating hair loss differently? How are you leveraging technology to provide personalized experiences? And what is the process all about?
Sure. Thank you so much, and very well said. It's the most cluttered market with thousands and thousands of products out there that claim to solve hair fall, from an anti-hair fall shampoo to an oil. I think we've been a country of hair fall products, but the reality is none of them sort of have succeeded to regrow hair. If that was the case, we would have stopped seeing bald men out there, which has never happened. So with that sort of gap in the market, we started Tria. Tria is different at a lot of places for the efficacy. To begin with, the process of really recommending the products, we really identified through our research that hair loss is such a complicated problem that the reason why hair loss happens in a human being A and B and C are very different. It could lead, even though if all three of could have the same type of hair loss. By the way, medically, there are different type of alopecias or hair loss.
Yes.
And most product companies that tend to sell a magic oil or a shampoo never try to understand or diagnose what type of hair loss you are, which stage you are at, and what are the underlying causes that are accelerating your hair loss. So even if three people have genetic hair loss, the reasons for acceleration could be stress, sleep, digestion, metabolism, poor nutrition. Even within the nutrition umbrella, reason could be anemia, someone could be bad. There are multiple reasons, and a treatment cannot really work without diagnosis.
Saloni, then can you give us a sense of how efficient Tria's products are? Because at the end of the day, customers want to see results. What is the kind of impact you've created so far?
Sure. So in terms of impact, I think more than 10 lakh Indians would have used Tria for treating their hair loss. And this has been, we are not a very old company. So we started about 3.5 years ago. So in that time span, we've seen this. Word of mouth is our strongest sort of way of growing. I mean, our dipstick exercise says that every customer that sees regrowth gets at least 8 new Tria customers. In terms of our clinical trial and our efficacy that we have measured with our data, 93% people see results with Tria. And when we see results, a change in the hair volume or regrowth. And this is when they use the treatment for at least 5 months. And that's the important part. That a lot of people need to understand, that hair loss is not a problem that, 10 din tel lagaya and you can grow your hair. It takes time.
Saloni, Tria has grown 2.5 times in the last 12 months. Take us through the current business growth numbers and also how competitively have you priced the products? Where can one buy them online? Do you plan to go offline as well? And if yes, what is the revenue mix you see going forward?
Sure. So Tria average order value is about 2,500, which means it's monthly kit. So which means to start, you need to pay 2,500. In this, you get a diagnosis, a doctor prescription, a dermatologist and an Ayurveda doctor will approve this this plan that we are building for you, and you will get that along with the box. You also get unlimited access to the coach, a diet plan. So the entire regime to sort out your hair problems is 2,500. We have grown 2.5 times in the last 1 year, like you said. So we clocked about 61 CR in FY23. In FY24, we clocked about 242 CR. What was also very interesting in FY24 was that we turned completely profitable in the beginning of the year. At an annual level also, we were profitable.
Where can one buy your products? Is it just online, and do you have plans to grow offline as well?
So currently, the only way to buy Tria is you go on the app or on the website, which is 100% online. We are thinking of going offline, but not at least in the next 1 year.
All right. In addition to your core product offering, Saloni, you recently launched a dedicated line for women. The mobile app was launched last year in October. What is the kind of impact you've made so far there?
Yes, mobile app has been a phenomenal experience. It's not even a year, and Tria's mobile app ranks in the top 5 in health and fitness category on Android in India at a national level, which is fantastic to watch because the other apps are fitness device related apps there, and which are around walking and running, and then there is a hair loss app that ranks along with them, which sees the need that people have with this disease. I think hair loss is not a niche problem anymore. It's like a pandemic. Every young Indian, by the way, average age of Tria male customer is 27-year-old. So it's a 20 years, in your 20s, people are facing hair loss. So app was a phenomenal experience. It has really helped us give a better customer experience to people who are on the treatment, hence helping them stick to their treatment better and get better results. So there's an added advantage of using app for acquisition.
Before we let you go, Saloni, take us through your future growth plans, both in terms of revenue and expansion.
Sure. Like I said, male is so today Tria is majorly male and female is really small. Like you said, it was launched in October last year, but that's something we are very excited about. Next 1 year is going to be focused around scaling male, but also aggressively scaling female, and all of this online. We really like one thing that we have gone in depth with this problem called hair loss, and we want to stick to that. So we don't want to dilute into too many things, and we want to do this one thing right. And I think the brand positioning has become an expert in hair loss, which is something we want to ride on as we grow along the next years.
All right. On that note, it's time for me to wrap up our conversation. Saloni, many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today, and wish you the very best with all your growth plans.
Thank you so much.